Back for more? What?
Let's go.
And we're live. Welcome to Strikeout Beer After Dark with your pals Alan and
Horny Gnome, what's going on?
Horny Gnome. Rapid Dave is still suffering from debilitating diarrhea that is just taking him out. The guy just can't. He can't do anything but sit on the toilet. So
yeah, I called Lizzie in between episodes, and she just said there's just blood everywhere, and I feel bad for her. I don't know.
It's just bad. It's just bad. But we're back again. You know what? We said, you know what? Let's have some more fun. I'm going to show you a pint glass. I want to see if you remember this brewery, because I don't think this brewery is still a thing, but it used to be a big thing like back in like my mid 20s. So we're talking a little bit less than 20 years ago. It's been a minute. Widmer Brothers. Do you remember Widmer Brothers?
No.
So they had some Hefeweizens that were really delicious back in the day. I really enjoyed.
Great glass art, though. I really like that.
I stole this from a bar, as I did most of the pint glasses that I have. But yeah, Widmer, they had a lot of wheat beers that were really good, including a lot of
nice.
But yeah, I had this pint glass in there. I actually think I used it like last week or the week before, like on a Monday night show or something, and was like, you know what? Let's rock the Widmer again. Let me see if Horny Gnome knows about it. But
no. So do you have any glasses that you refuse to use at all?
No, but there's just a bunch that are like on the top shelf that have been sitting up there for a minute that I'm just not.
So I have one that's from my favorite brewery that's around this area. It's Kincaider, right? Those are those beers. I sent you a couple of Kincaider beers.
Yep.
So they have one that has like probably their top 10 beer logos all the way around it, and like a honeycomb pattern, and it's all logoed up and stuff. And I'm like, I refuse to use it. It's right now. It's on top of my fridge holding stickers because I don't want to wash it or anything like that because it would hold up, but I don't want to risk it.
Right. So as you said that, I looked over here, and over here on this windowsill over there, I've actually got a pint glass from Martin House Brewing that I went and got. and they released a pizza beer one year that was just awful, and it was for
Oh,
that-
really?
yeah. Oh God, it was trash. Like one of the worst beers I've ever had in my entire life. But they had this pint glass that was it was for Valentine's Day that they released that was just absolute fire, and I love it. And it's a Ninja Turtles pint glass with Leonardo on it.
Mm,
And that one's actually sitting over there on on the windowsill
Makes
that
sense.
I don't drink out of. Like I just don't want something to happen to it. I also have, it's not a beer glass, but it's like, do you remember like back in like I want to say it was probably like back in the 80s, you had the mobile gas stations that had
Okay.
the NFL glasses.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
I've got a Detroit Lions glass from
Oh, there
that.
you go.
That I don't want anything to happen to. And this was back from the 80s. And this is actually
So-
something picked up recently at an antique mall that they had. And I got it for like $8 or something like that. You know,
so not as distant as that. And I don't have them here. My mom has them. But I have a full set of Batman Returns, like the frosted coffee cups with the three-dimensional stuff. I have a full set wrapped up in like newspaper in like a cedar chest at my mom's house that I collected or whatever back in the day.
There's a thrift store not that far from here that has the set. I just refuse to pay what they're asking for them.
What are they asking for it?
Like $5 a pop.
I'd pay that, I think.
I just don't want to do it. Like, and part of it is like, if I do buy it, I don't know where I'm going to put it.
I get that too, I suppose. Yeah.
I have.
You can put pops in it. You could have the set of 4 and then like put corresponding pops at each one or something.
I don't have anywhere to put that.
Like you could tell. Same thing. Yeah.
You have no idea. Like this looks buttoned up, nice, all that. Everything outside of the camera view is just an S show of just stuff everywhere. Like,
oh no, okay, so on purpose, I brought the camera in closer because I had it further away and turned the other way and blah blah blah. That's because there is like, I just put my hand on a table saw. There is like workbenches on the other side of this. I have like a small can graveyard right here because it's easy to just take cans and put them.
Mercer cassette tape. That I
Jeez.
have. Here's a little recorder. It may or may not work. I don't know. I haven't changed the batteries yet to figure it out. Here's hold on. Here's a Spider-Man lunchbox. How's that work out for you? I don't. Well, hold on. Here we go. How about a Sabretooth action figure? Yeah. Oh, wait. Here's a Hawkeye comic book. Right here. I mean,
how many long boxes are on the floor right now?
Here's a sack of wheat pennies.
Okay.
How many long boxes, dude?
Because I know you were getting ready. You were rearranging last year, and I remember like 10 comic book boxes on the floor or something like that.
Bro, there over in that corner right there, there is approximately 10 long boxes and 8 short boxes. Directly in front of me is 3 short boxes stacked on top of each other. Right here, I'm touching right now. 1, 2, 3 long boxes. Next, right there is another long box. There's a short box. There's a short box. In my closet is another 12 long boxes and 8 short boxes. In my hallway just outside my door is 4 short boxes.
How much of a passive aggressive argument do you get in weekly when you go pick up your comic book order from the comic book store?
Oh no, they're like, come on, keep getting more, keep buying more. I've got a stack of comics on one. I've got a.
Oh, I don't mean from them. I mean from the significant other.
She doesn't say anything. She's got nothing to say. I have a long box of comics here that I haven't read, and I've got one, two, I got like 6 stacks right here of books that I haven't even scanned into my app to say that I own these comics yet. They're still in the bags from when I bought them at the comic book store. And then I have about another 80 to 100 comics stacked on my futon that I haven't even read yet. But real quick, I got to drink something, okay?
Yeah,
And
no, I'm down. I got new beers to go through too. Go ahead.
I got some pirate water. And this is from
What?
Barstool. From Barstool. It's called Pirate Water.
Okay.
And this is Bahama Mama. And it's 10% alcohol by volume.
Oh.
Is what this bad boy's rocking. I got 2. There's actually 4 that I've seen. I bought 2 of them because my hands were full when I saw the other 2. I don't know. Let's give this a try. What do you got?
Okay, so this one, so I get the pleasure of being the beer review guy for a kayak fishing club or whatever, because their main guy that would normally do it is taking a year-long hiatus off of beer, like drinking in general. He's taking a year off. And so one of their sponsors is Cross Train Brewing Company out of Papillion, Nebraska. And so they don't have anybody to do their reviews and stuff to like kind of promote them. So I got this cool gig where I just get to do their beer reviews. They send me beer and I get to do their beer reviews for them.
One, why am I just now finding this out? And 2, how did this happen?
So the reason you're just finding out is because it literally just started. Like the season, they just had, I want to say they just had their first tournament or league night like last week. So like the build up into the
tournament kayaking season.
So long and short of it is it's so the Heartland Kayak. Go ahead.
There's kayaking tournaments.
Okay, here we go. So kayak fishing is big. Unless you're in the fishing community, you really don't realize it or whatever. But like kayak fishing in general is big. There's the fishing kayak I bought last year was $2,000. Like, I mean, this is like it's big money stuff and whatever. They have big, huge tournaments and stuff like that. One of the biggest YouTube fishermen from Nebraska actually moved to Texas because the tournament fishing in Texas is bigger. He's not a kayak fisherman, but still, Ben Milliken, you'll hear about him. He'll be the next biggest thing in fishing. But kayak fishing is really big.
I don't know who the last biggest thing in fishing was. Why would I hear about the next biggest thing in fishing?
Fishing's gotten really popular. It's on ESPN. It's on ESPN2. It's on, whatever.
It's been on ESPN for like 40 years, but that doesn't.
I get it. It's just like people that don't bowl don't follow bowling. I get it too.
You know what they put on ESPN? Magic the Gathering.
I've never seen. Yeah, I've never seen that.
I've seen it on there. So
really, I haven't. So anyhow, so kayak fishing is kind of a big deal in certain areas or whatever, certain groups of people. And so they have regular fishing tournaments, just like big bass tournaments or whatever. The difference is you don't keep your catch in a live well like you do on a big bass boat. You take pictures of lengths. So they have like special, like I could pull it down, but you have these catch boards and they have like your measurements on it. You lay your fish in like a trough and then it measures how long it is. Most of it's largemouth bass. And then so you have like tournaments, like you get on the water at like 6 a.m., you get off the water at 5 p.m., and then based on your lengths is how you place in the tournament, stuff like that. They use their special apps for it and everything to keep track of your GPS, what time you put the pitcher in, all that stuff to keep it like as fair as possible and whatnot. But anyhow, so they also do league nights. So the league nights are the same thing. You get on the water at 5 o'clock, you get off the water at 9 o'clock, and then you keep track on the app, like where you sit in like the group of people or whatever, and they meet up all at the same lake and they fish the same lake and try to, get their bag. And so they have all kinds of sponsors. There's a bunch of like fishing product sponsors and stuff like that. Also local sponsors too, different things. and one of their big sponsors this year was Cross Train Brewing Company, because a bunch of them are a bunch of those fishing guys are drinkers that go and frequent these establishments and stuff like that.
Right.
And so a lot of these leagues and stuff happen in like the metro area. So like Lincoln and Omaha, outside of those areas are big. There's 30 lakes probably between those two metro areas. And so one of the sponsors is Cross Train, and one of the directors is a buddy of mine. I've fished with these people. I've done a couple of tournaments with them and stuff too. And so that's how I met these people. And then they all, the group of them probably, here and there follow me and watch my stuff and whatnot. And one of them is a good buddy of mine that we've talked and had lots of talks about beer and stuff like that. And then he decided to take a year off, just because he was kind of like on a health kick and losing some weight. And he just thought that would help, which it has. He has lost a tremendous amount of weight. And so
Cutting beer will do that to you.
Yeah. And so he kind of reached out and he's like, hey, I took the year off of beer. Do you want to do these reviews? I want to be able to, on our lives and stuff like that, I want to be able to promote these sponsors. I want to be able to do it this way. Do you want to just hop on and you can hop on our lives and do beer reviews for us and stuff? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to turn that down. Sounds like a great spot. So,
okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So the brewery sends me beers or they send me beers, however it works. And I get to hang out with them and I also I know the brewer and stuff like that. I know the owners, because so they have the number one selling IPA in all of Nebraska, but they also have my least favorite beer I've ever tried is from that brewery too. So the very first time I got to meet him, I was like, hey, you know what? I love a lot of your beers, blah, blah, blah. I go, but I have to tell you, after, at this point, it had been probably 2 years I'd been reviewing beers or something like that, at least on platforms. And I was like, you also brewed the worst beer I probably ever had. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, to be fair, I'm not a big ginger person. I don't like gingerbread. I don't like that flavor. I don't like that profile. Right. And what does every company do? For Christmas beers, they just load up ginger. It seems like every damn Christmas beer you ever get has a ton of ginger in it, one way or another.
Or a lot of stouts.
Yeah, yeah. And so they had made, arguably, on the can, the best Christmas beer you could have made. It was called Malik Likimaka. It had like a swimming pool on it, red bikini floating on it, everything. Christmas lights all around. I was like, you can't get, subject matter wise, you can't get any better than this for subject matter for a Christmas beer. Right. Crack it open and it's dog shit. I just couldn't. I tried to choke down the whole beer. I couldn't even finish the whole beer. It just was too much. Couldn't do it. And I told him that, and then I don't think it was because of me, but the next year is when they produced arguably my favorite Christmas beer I've ever had. And it's an IPA, and it's called A Whole Lot of Sap. And
you're like, I'm not saying it was because of me, but it was.
But coincidentally, it happened. But I'm guessing they had other complaints about
it. They brewed a different beer, and then the next thing you know, they brewed good beer. I don't know, man.
You're welcome. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever. I'm trying to say you're welcome.
All right.
But okay, anyhow, getting back to this beer, it is from that company. It's from Cross Train Brewing Company out of Papillion, Nebraska. They also share a wall with Pint Nine, which is that brewery that I was talking about earlier. They share a wall. They share cans. They share all that stuff. This is actually a lager brewed with pineapple and lemon. It's a 4.8% called Self-Propelled Mower. So they kind of went pretty simple on it.
Yeah.
For can art, you just got rows of stuff and then a little mower.
Yeah.
Self-propelled mower. So
it's got that 8-bit look to it. Like,
right? A little bit. Yeah. Kind of.
That would draw my attention off the shelf. Like,
so they do a lot of their
8-bit can. I'm buying it.
They do a lot of stuff with patterns. A lot of their cans have patterns and stuff like that on it. But yeah, so that's what I got going. it's this can seems to be a little overcarbonated. I was like a soft pour, and it's
Well, that's your fault. So you can't do the soft. You got to do the hard pours. Otherwise, it messes with the napkin in your stomach.
yeah, right. I know, but that's why I opened it up a little bit, and then it just went through the roof. So
Okay.
I'll give her a little try here, tell you about it, and then we'll get into the other stuff.
I'm going to tell you right now, this Pirate Water Bahama Mama, this ain't bad. Like,
Really?
it's pretty sweet. It's orange. Like, the color of it is orange.
Oh yeah,
like
I agree. That's what that is.
But it's not bad. And it
looks like a dirty, rusty water, kind of. That's what.
No, it definitely looks better. Like it almost looks like Tang.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Right? It's orange like Tang is, right? Like
it's like slightly opaque. It looks good. Yeah.
At 10%, I don't know that I necessarily noticed that it's 10%.
Oh, there you go. And so, what's the actual brewery that produced it, though?
Dude, it says it's from. It's Barstool.
But Barstool doesn't have a brewery.
Well,
so it had to have been.
This is their item, though. Like Barstool has like seltzers, right? It's like Daddy something or another.
Yeah, but it's still produced. I think it's still in collaboration with a brewery. I'm really surprised they don't have a brewery.
There's no brewery listed on this. Like
weird. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just have it.
Wait, Drink 4 Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Memphis, Tennessee, and under special agreement, Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Oh, there we go.
So they've brewed this with several breweries that they're, I guess, essentially not naming, right? Like,
yeah. It sounds like multiple locations, and they just sent out like the formula and how to produce it.
It's a flavored malt beverage, is what it is.
You're here. So this is, it kind of falls in the same vein. But so have you heard of who Mr. Beast is? Of course, right?
Obviously.
Okay, and how he has like a pop-up fast food restaurant, right?
So he has he has the Mr. Beast Burger that only has one location.
Yes.
There's only one actual Mr. Beast Burger location. The other ones are like most of them
pop-ups.
Most of them are Red Robins. Like
you have depends on it.
You order it online for delivery, and because I deliver Uber Eats, so I pick up Mr. Beast Burgers from Red Robin.
So it's Perkins around here.
Okay.
Perkins is who does it here. So that same realm, right? Same IHOP-y, whatever kind of franchise. But yeah, so it's Perkins here. And same thing. And that's what I was getting at is like, so it's really not a Beast product. It's a Perkins product that is wrapped and packaged.
As it means, but it's the Mr. Beast Burger recipe, right?
Right. So they probably have special patties that are there all the time or whatever. And
you can't go to a Red Robin and go sit down in Red Robin and order a Mr. Beast Burger.
No, you have to go through delivery. What is that? DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever. Yep.
Uber Eats, whatever your delivery of choice is. But then there's one actual physical location for Beast Burger, and I think it's at the Mall of America in Minnesota. If I'm
that I'm not sure on.
But he has one actual physical location that the first day they opened up, the line was absurd. Like ridiculous.
So you're seeing a lot more of that kind of thing happen, right? Where there's like an exclusive product, but they have multiple places produce that exclusive product.
I see that a lot as an Uber Eats driver, because like
I suppose
I'll show up to places to pick up an order, and it's like Dickey's Barbecue has a lot of that too. Like there's different places that you order from out of Dickey's Barbecue, but it's called something else. And there's some other ones for IHOP too. Like there's a few different ones at IHOP as well, where you go to IHOP to pick up the order, but it's not called IHOP when you pick it up. Like when you look at the notes, it says this is go into IHOP and pick up this order. Old school. I did not know that. Yeah, there's a lot of those restaurants. They're online only, but they're sourced out of other big restaurants.
Yep. Where like other people have done pop-ups differently. Like Kevin Smith, when he did the pop-up for movies, that was like he would go find essentially a place that's not open,
right,
and then bring in kitchen equipment and whatever, and they would like have like a restaurant for a day or whatever. Yeah,
it's a movie set essentially.
Yeah.
A restaurant that they turn into a movie. But you had that with Wendy's did that with the Rick and Morty's thing, right? Rick and Morty and Wendy's had this big agreement, and they had these big Rick and Morty experiences at all these Wendy's all across the U.S. where
I didn't hear about that at all.
Oh yeah, no, that was a huge thing. Like there was some big ones. There was several in like a lot of the people. Some of the people that I follow on like TikTok, the ones that I saw that went and did it was big in like Las Vegas. Like they had several Wendy's in Las Vegas that had it was the Rick and Morty experience, and like Wendy's had like a Rick and Morty like small menu like at some of the ones that you went to where you could go and actually order from, but then they also had several that did like a Rick and Morty's experience where it was like a big drive-through thing or a big walk-through thing that you went through, and you had all this
weird.
Rick and Morty stuff, and you had Rick and Morty inspired food and drinks at the end of it and things like that. But
you also do you see a lot of that by you guys though?
No, I mean, like the biggest pop-up that we saw near us was
I guess I don't know how close you guys are to like the metro area though.
Oh no, we're right in the middle. We're in the DFW area.
That's what I thought. Fort
Worth and Rapid Davis, the Dallas side of things. We're right smack dab in the middle. But like when the last season of Stranger Things came out, we had a Stranger Things pop-up store at the Grapevine Mills Mall in Grapevine, Texas, which is probably pretty much in the middle of me and Rapid Dave. A big mall there, and last I saw it might have still been there, but it's like a big. So you went into it, and it's all Stranger Things merchandise. It's just a pop-up store. It's not going to be there forever. I don't opportunities
where I live. Where I live, I don't see a lot of that, and part of it is because it's Nebraska, right? The other part of it is that like the metro area that I'm closest to is 2 hours away. I mean, Lincoln's probably 2 hours and 2.5 hours or something. I think Omaha's probably 2 hours.
We probably see more in Dallas than we do in Fort Worth, but like Dallas has had like here recently some of the big pop-ups that we've had. There's been a Moe's Tavern that's opened up. There's been a Friends theme bar that opened up for a while. There's been a what's the other show? The Office theme bar that opened up. We have a lot of those pop-up bars, especially in Dallas. I think they're more prone to Dallas than they are Fort Worth. That will open up for a little bit out here.
Okay, so here's I got one for you. If there was one set, whether it be live action or animated, one place to like hang out, what would it be? Keep in mind, this could be like a town. This could be a physical place, like a bar, like Moe's Tavern.
We've had two, and they're both Simpsons related that I really wanted to get to that I did not get a chance to go to. We had the Moe's Tavern, and we've had the Quickie Mart out here.
Ooh, okay.
The Quickie Marts
basically 7-Eleven, yeah.
Right. They were 7-Elevens that turned into Quickie Marts and things like that. I did not get the chance to go to either one of them. Those would be two of the big ones that I really would like to go to. I think those would be the two. Like I went to when the Stranger Things pop-up opened up, I went to that and I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't do much when I went. I just kind of walked in. I was at the mall and I was like, oh.
Was it like a set? Like, did they do like a good job of making it like a set kind of, and then a store in the set kind of deal?
They had several.
Like an exaggerated Hot Topic kind of thing or something?
Yes and no. You had several like set locations. Like you had the couch. that was at Will's house, and all the Christmas lights above it and all that. You had some other areas where you had like the Demogorgon there that you could pose with the Demogorgon, and a few other like set specific things. And they had those picture opportunities all throughout it. And then it was
That's
just
pretty cool though.
a bunch of like Stranger Things merchandise and things like that
Okay.
for sale and things. Oh, overpriced Stranger Things merchandise for sale. Let's say
okay. That's fair. That's fair. So but overall you're picking Simpsons. Simpsons is like if they could create any like set you could go and hang out on and whatever.
Those are the most iconic things. Like for me, I'm 40.
See, if Simpsons, I'm picking
43 years old, right?
So I get it, but like Simpsons, I picked the living room or something like to be part of like the living room, or what. But like, yeah, you're right. Hanging out to be. I think the Family Guy, like the Drunken Clam, is like probably a better bar than most.
But a Family Guy was more when I'm older, right?
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Right.
Just like, but I was going to drop a bombshell on you. I've watched less than 2 episodes of Rick and Morty in total, like an episode and a half, maybe.
I really enjoy Rick and Morty. Now I haven't seen the
last. I haven't gotten into it. It's one of those. I watched the one where
Hulu. Pull it up on Hulu.
It's like Mad Max, kind of. I've watched that one.
Pull it up on Hulu. You can watch it all on Hulu, and they're 20-something minute episodes, right? So you can sit there. Hey, here's what you do. The next night you're at home and you got nothing to do. Order a pizza or go get some pizza rolls, something pizza related. Okay,
bagel bites or bagel bites,
whatever. Get yourself a case of beer and sit down.
Just watch Rick and Morty.
And it's you'll thank me later.
I'm one of those people that don't like jumping in the middle of a series, no matter what it is. So I have to watch it from the beginning.
Again, you pull it up on Hulu, and
it's how I watch anything. I don't consume anything naturally anymore. Nobody does. It feels like so.
It's all like I started watching the show on Amazon Prime, and I'm pissed off because I started it before the season was all dropped. Because they're dropping.
So you couldn't binge it.
But I'm watching Jury Duty. On
so I've heard Amazon. About it. Is that the one where like everybody tries to get out of it?
No. So here's what it is. It's billed as a reality show for a jury, and it's billed as hey, this is reality. But everybody in the show is actors except for one person.
Oh.
One person thinks it's real, but the other thing that they did was they threw one person in there who plays themselves. They've put James Marsden in there, playing himself.
Weird.
And it's funny. Like the first episode's pretty funny because like he's sitting there and he just keeps talking about Sonic, and like the guy.
Oh no, I've seen that where he's like trying to tell everybody about Sonic and nobody gives a fuck.
He's talking to one guy specifically who's the real person. And he's like,
I'm in that movie.
He's like, I was looking at those socks and I thought they said Sonic. And I wanted to see if they did because I was in the Sonic movie. And the dude goes, you were in Sonic? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, I heard that movie sucked. He's like, well, he's like, what's it trying to be? Is it like a buddy comedy? Is it serious? He's like, well, it's this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, I seen that. And then clip on like TikTok or something. I wasn't sure what it was from.
That's where I found it. It was on TikTok, right? And then he shows up like a day or two later. He's like, "Hey man, I gotta apologize to you. I watched Sonic the other day and it was awesome." He's like, "Yeah, it's really good, right?" He's like, hey, "Dude, you didn't tell me Ben Schwartz was Sonic. He's like great at Sonic." He's like, "Well, it's just." He's just like disappointed because like he's all he's talking about is Ben Schwartz. But and then he asked me, he's like, "Hey, did you rent it or did you buy it?" He's like, "Oh, well, I rent it." He's like, "Oh, that's a shame. If you had bought it, I would have gotten $1 from that."
Oh, jeez.
But
that's super funny though.
It's pretty funny. Like I've enjoyed it so far. New episodes drop on Fridays, and I think there's only like a couple episodes left. But like I started watching it, and then I get and it's like I watched it. I was like, oh, and then the next thing is pulling up is like Judge Judy. I'm like, what the?
See, okay. Same thing happened to me. Ted Lasso. I'm watching this season's Ted Lasso.
I haven't watched any Ted Lasso, but I don't have Apple TV.
So we bought it specifically for Ted Lasso, and I've not been disappointed. I will pay the $10 a month or whatever it is to watch Ted Lasso. I think there's only like 2 episodes left in the season. If I were you, I'd wait until that's done and then order it up for a 3-day trial or something.
I have a buddy who does this, like, it's called Plex.
Okay.
And he has an account on there, and he can authorize people through his account. And he can go on there and download movies. Like, he goes and downloads, like, bootleg copies of stuff.
Yeah.
And puts it on there. But they're really, like, high-quality copies.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I think he might have Ted Lasso on there. Like, I watched a Creed 3 the other day on there, and it was great.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Honestly, if there's one I would, like, encourage you to watch, it's that one. It's definitely more comedy than dramedy, but like it has a lot of heart tugs on it and stuff.
I'm a big Jason Sudeikis fan. I love Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, well, and then I didn't realize until probably almost the first season through that like the other co-writers, like the other main producers and stuff like that, are like the other people, like main people in the show. And so, like, the main thing, like, I watched the first episode or the first couple episodes, and I really loved it. And then right after that was when, because I haven't watched it that long ago, was when they won all those like Oscars or Emmys or whatever, and then like all these actresses and actors were just like doing nothing but like blowing up how amazing Jason Sudeikis is and all that. And I was like, there's got to be something to this. And then, I watched a little bit more, and it's been phenomenal. I quote it all the time and everything.
I'm actually pulling up my Plex right now to see if I actually have it on here.
It's so great.
Before I let you know, I just finished the Pirate Water Bahama Mama. Pretty, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. It's not.
I haven't been a big,
but I would. If someone offered me one, I would drink it. I mean, I think I paid $2 for them. I think they're like $1.98.
Well, that's worth it. That's worth it then.
For that, yes. And
we were idiots and used to pay $6 a dollar for the Big Boy Four Locos that tasted like rancid asshole mixed with static and dirty Mexican water.
I never did the Four Locos.
Oh,
I've got
a story for you about Four Locos. You want to hear it?
My fair share of Mickey's, but
that's not the same.
It's not. But next up is Pirate Water Margarita.
Ooh, okay. I'm intrigued now.
This one's 10% alcohol by volume as well.
There we go. Okay.
And I can't remember what the other two are, and this is green. Like,
no, I can imagine.
It's legit green.
Ooh, oh, that's like some surge ass green.
This
that's like that high C Ghostbusters.
Ecto.
Yeah, there we go.
This is what this reminds me of: is Ecto Cooler.
Oh, man, and you know what? That stuff was fantastic. It tasted so good back in the day.
They brought it back not that long ago, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think when the last Ghostbusters movie came out, or maybe the girl Ghostbusters.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Oh yeah, no, they're actually filming the sequel to that one, and I can't wait.
I know. I got to see. I think I sent it to you too because I think we were talking about it at the time. But when that movie came out, I actually got to do as close as you can get to like a private movie viewing of it. We have a vintage theater that was built back in like the 1920s or something like that in a town near us. And I have people that I was working with that are on that volunteer board or whatever. And they usually bring in titles that are, 2 weeks old or something like that and play them for a discounted play. You pay like $5 or something like that for tickets. And so I had like other people, like 2 or 3 guys that volunteered on that board and stuff like that. So we got to do like private movies all the time. We had done a bunch, but then Ghostbusters came and they had like the commemorative like buckets and all that stuff. And then there was like 6 of us in this theater after they had just gotten like a brand new state of the art projector and had redone the seats and stuff. So it was like an almost brand new movie theater in like a vintage building, obviously.
Okay.
And then we got to see one of the best movies that I've seen probably in the last 3 or 4 years. Like,
yeah, I really enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. I thought it was a really good movie. Yeah,
if you could completely forget all about the Melissa McCarthy Ghostbusters,
that's
if
easy.
you could completely wipe that off the table,
Done.
Easily the best third movie of probably all time.
Yeah. Okay, but you're talking like Return of the Jedi.
If you,
right?
You beat me to it. I was gonna say, if you remove the trilogy from it, if you remove Lord of the Rings, that trilogy too,
it was just a bunch of walking. But like, John Wick 3 was a great movie. I don't know if you're a John Wick guy.
Damn it! No, I just watched it last night. Literally, just watched the third one last night.
I haven't watched the fourth one yet. I
haven't either.
I need to make it to see it. But I absolutely love the third one. I mean, but then you're talking like the third Avengers movie would be
the one after Ultron. So it'd be
the first Infinity Gauntlet, right?
First Endgames,
which was phenomenal, right?
Which was great. You're right. Okay, so I'm just saying it's up there. It's up there with third movies. It was a great sequel. The sequel was great. Ghostbusters 2 is phenomenal. And then I thought it was a great continuation.
I love 1 and 2. Yeah, you have to factor out the girl Ghostbuster movie.
Oh, horrible. Horrible.
I've got daughters, and they both liked it because it's girls, right? Girls leading like that. What is up? Die by Riki. The boys are here to play. Let's go, man.
Cheers.
Like it kills me because like my youngest, and she's 9. She's like, "Oh, I really love that girls Ghostbuster movie." I was like, "Really?"
That's where you go. Go watch Bridesmaids if you really want to watch a great Melissa.
Well, okay, I'm not
Melissa McCarthy movie. Go watch Bridesmaids.
I'm not going to tell my 9-year-old to watch Bridesmaids.
I'd rather her watch that than that stupid ass Ghostbusters movie. It was horrible. It was trashy. You have Thor playing the worst character ever on a movie ever.
No. There's definitely been worse. Padme's worse. Padme's worse.
No. You throw Padme in the Kristen Stewart
movies.
I don't care. I don't give a shit if she's attractive at least. That's the whole. And he on like the female end of that thing.
He's attractive.
Just listen. He is incredible. Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you,
man, and he's very attractive.
He is attractive, but how that character is portrayed and the whole acting and the whole thing takes that away almost because it was so bad. He's
a dumb, good-looking guy.
Yeah, and you can do that well. You can like in Vacation. He was in the remake of Vacation with Ed Helms. Fantastic character.
I love that movie.
Fantastic character. When he comes in with his boxers and he just has this massive
I'm going to tell you right now, Vacation with Ed Helms and Christina Applegate is highly underrated.
Oh, I think it's phenomenal. I think
some of it is underrated. It's 100% underrated movie.
I agree with you. It's not great. It's not super great, and there's some very predictable moments in it, but it feels Chevy Chasey. It feels.
You know what? I watched. I laughed my ass off.
Oh yeah! Every time he'd come out and he'd make his son feel super uncomfortable, like he was like some rapey dad or something like that. Oh, I lost it. It was.
I own it.
Great movie.
It's in my collection of movies that I've bought a physical copy of, which nowadays it's
not a lot.
It's Marvel or it's Disney. Like if I'm buying a movie now, it's Marvel or Disney, which is the
I don't
same.
even do that anymore. I just
It's the
don't.
same
I don't.
thing, right? Like,
Yep.
but I mean, it's just I get the Disney movies for the kiddos. Although
No, I get why you get them. I don't know the last time I loaded a disc into any kind of device to watch a movie. I would have to do some thinking. It's probably 3 or 4 years, I bet.
It hasn't been that long. Like we've got some stuff that there's some movies that I have that I can't stream anywhere. Like I don't have the services like some of them, maybe some of them are like Paramount Plus, and that's one streaming service that I don't have, or like Apple TV, I don't have that. Like if I want to watch a Charlie Brown holiday special, they're all on Apple TV.
Oh, you're right. Probably, yeah.
I don't have Apple TV, but I own them all.
Right? Oh, I see.
And like
there's probably I bet there's a fair amount of movies that I have that I probably have on like still on physical media. Here's a case in point. Idle Hands, okay? Jessica Alba, circa like 99, 2000, somewhere in there. Seth Green is in that movie. Yeah. Great movie. Anyhow,
the kid from Angus is in that.
Yeah, and then the original blonde-haired kid from the first Final Destination movie plays the lead in that movie.
Yeah.
I can't think of what his name is, but
Devin is his name. Devin Sawa. Devin Sawa.
That was a great grab. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere close to that.
Let me tell you this right now. I have so much useless information in my head.
I usually do too. I bet you have more, and this is why I've been wanting to do a podcast with you about this shit. I bet you have more comic book and movie stuff, and I bet I have more music.
I got some obscure music shit in my portfolio, but yeah, no, I've got a lot of. I've had so much like absurd like pulp culture stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
it's useless information. Like the crazy thing is like, so Liz, my lady, my love of my life. She's got one brother who was always like the smartest one in their family, right? Mm-hmm. And shortly after me and Liz started dating, they lived in Corpus, and we went and visited him in Corpus. And we're sitting down, and he was like, "Hey, let's play Trivial Pursuit." And I'm like, "Cool, let's do it." I love Trivial Pursuit. He's like, "Yeah." He looks at me, and goes, "I never lose." I go, "Okay, that's cool." And I was on a team he had him, and I don't know, and I was on a team with his mom and Liz and someone else, I don't know. And we're sitting there playing, and I just start whooping the living shit out of him.
Oh, nice.
Like they're losing, and then I could tell he's getting frustrated because like all this stuff's coming up, and again, I just pull up. I know so much random shit, it's absurd. And so it gets to the point where like I know it's bothering him. So we get a question, and I know the answer right. I instantly know the answer, but I pretend like I don't know the answer. And I'm like, man, I don't know. And like, so I'll talk to his mom and whoever else was on our team. I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I go, like there was one where it was a Sopranos question. Like when so-and-so was killed, what was crammed in his mouth? And it was a rat because they killed him because he was a rat. And they crammed a rat in his mouth because they wanted everyone to know that they knew he was a rat.
I don't think I ever watched a single episode of that show ever.
And I'm like, I go, let's go with a rat. And he looks at me and goes, you want to go with a rat? I go, yeah. He's like, are you sure? I go, no, but let's just go with it. And he looks at the card and he looks at me and he goes, fuck you, and throws the card. And I'm like, I go, does that mean I got it right? He goes,
did I break it?
And I'm like, oh, cool. I was like, I just guessed, even though I knew because I watched that episode and I've seen it and I knew it. And I mean, come on, Italian guy killing another Italian guy. What is? I mean,
your arts of deduction gets you close, at least.
Even if I hadn't seen the episode, I'm gonna guess
So
a
you probably got
rat,
a
right?
1 in
Like
10 chance or something. Yeah.
less than that. Like, but yeah, no, dude. I beat, and then like since then, like for the last, I want to say 12 years, because this was like year two of me and Liz dating. We've been dating for almost 14 years now. November will be, or October will be 14 years. We'll be together and be like, hey man, everyone's like, hey, let's play games. I'm like, yeah, David, you want to play Trivial Pursuit? And he looks at me and goes, fuck you. And I'm like, what?
Get him fired up.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
that guy.
he's so pissed. He
Oh,
is not
I'll bring the biggest spoon to stir that fucking pot.
He
I am that guy.
played it since then, and I know that, and I love it. I bring it up every time.
Are you still drinking your green shit? Okay. So just to sum up, I'm done with my other one here. Self-propelled mower is the name from Cross Train Brewing Company. It was a lager with pineapple and lemon, 4.8% ABV. It was good. It was really tart. It had that lemon hard. That pineapple sweetness did not bitter that lemon very much. So you got a nice like lemon lager that just had a little bit of a weird pineapple-y twang on it. It's still definitely drinkable, but I'd almost put it in a Goza sour realm more so than just a standard lager.
So there's some sourness in it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And then I got one more. I'm gonna get into this next one real quick.
Yeah, what's your next one?
So this is from Drecker. So, AKA the unadulterated kings of like fruited sours and the smoothie sour stuff. But I've been getting into their IPAs, and their IPAs are super stellar as well.
I do like Drecker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fargo, North Dakota, and then, but arguably the dopest can art in the game.
That's pretty good.
They have this real like 2000s emo, hard rock kind of artistic stuff that they do on their cans. So this is it's called Freak Parade. It is a double IPA.
Okay.
And I'll go through all of the hops here in a second.
So real quick, are you
look at that?
It
looks way darker on camera. It is a like super light straw.
It looks very
color.
Dark and thick on camera.
It's not dark. It's not dark at all. It
definitely looks very thick.
It's like so color wise, it would be brighter than Sunny D in the yellow category.
Okay.
So that's what color it is in like real life here. But it's a double IPA, and it has
thick.
It poured thick too. It has Victoria's Secret, El Dorado, and Mosaic hops.
I don't know.
So
if it's kind of Victoria's Secret hops.
Well, it's Vic Secret, but it's the same. That's what it's from. But it's Vic Secret, and it's 8.2%. And for a double, an 8 is kind of a little bit low, but I feel like it'll probably be drinkable. Then I feel like if your ABV is higher than that, usually it tends to be a lot sweeter, and it kind of like is off-putting if it's way too sweet.
I'm drinking 10% Ecto Cooler right now, so
yeah, I agree, but it's probably really sweet.
It doesn't taste like it's billed as margarita, and it does not taste like margarita at all. Like,
does it taste like a Kool-Aid margarita kind of thing?
It definitely tastes more Kool-Aid than margarita.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's too sweet. I've had a really hard time with canned cocktails because it feels like they can't get stuff right. They can't get the mixture right or something like that.
Yeah. You definitely run into
ones
issues with
that. The ones that I can kind of handle are the ones that are from like Cayman Jack, but even them, I can only do like 2 or 3, and they're just too sweet. You know what I'm saying? They have like a mojito one, and then I don't know, a margarita and something else, and then they have the one that's like usually tequila and grapefruit. I can't think of what it's called.
I will say,
but
so
anyhow, Paloma. There we go.
the first one, the Bahama Mama, was really good. Not as
Yeah.
sweet. This one's more sweet. I would actually put this more on par with drinking like a Kool-Aid type drink. And it's billed as margarita, and I'm not picking up margarita with it. I'm not picking up the margarita flavor. Of the two, this one's definitely the worst of the two. Jay saying the Cayman Jack Moscow Mule is good. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they do pretty good with all of them. They don't taste necessarily like if you were to go to a bar and you would order that cocktail, but I feel like it's palatable. Where a lot of these places, they go too heavy. Either they go too heavy on the booze or they go too heavy on the mix, and it either ends up being like syrup that has like a little bit of booze flavor to it, or it has a lot of booze and like flat Coke or like flat like something like that. Like it's like a super flat, like unpalatable flavoring that they add to whatever their booze is.
And I think what you're going to deal with a lot more and have a lot more out in the marketplace is the cocktail inspired, liquor inspired drinks. For example, like you have the Fireball, and they have regular Fireball, but then they have Fireball flavored malt beverage, right? And everything's the same, but one is cinnamon flavored and one is whiskey flavored and one is cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see kind of what you're saying.
And like,
well, they have like
I can go to Walmart or go to the gas station and buy the Fireball, but it's not the Fireball whiskey. It's a whiskey flavored cinnamon drink or whatever it is, right?
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Just
like
not
more
that.
of like a.
They have that. They have the Parrot Bay vodka, but it's not vodka. It's vodka flavored coconut drink or whatever it is, right? But
yeah, I see. I kind of get where you're talking, going the route of like a malt liquor kind of situation,
Yes. And that's
where you have like
because these are malt liquor. Like these all say that these are malt liquor type things.
Yeah, because you're in like the Crown and Coke and Crown Apple, whatever, that all those little like the Peach Crown, whatever cocktails that came out. Jack Daniels has some too, that were like Jack Daniels with Coke, Jack Daniels with whatever. They had those too.
Also down here in like Texas, right, where it's crazy because like here in Texas, I can't go and buy liquor. I can't buy liquor on a Sunday.
Oh, really? Yeah, we can't.
No, you can't. I have to buy it at
noon. We can,
and I have to buy it at a liquor store. But like up north,
oh, okay.
Specifically, like for me, like up in Michigan, like if I'm back up in Detroit, I can go to. Whenever. I'll go to Myers. Again.
Oh yeah.
Down in Texas, they don't know what Myers is, but up north, you know what a Myers is. You have Myers out there in Nebraska?
Up north, I think they do. Like
it's like a Walmart, but it's a different store, right?
Yeah, like an Aldi at other places and whatever.
It's more like a Walmart because you have your grocery, you have your GM merchandise, all that, and like even in Michigan, you can go to a Walmart, and like the first time, like when I was of age, I was like 22, maybe 23 at the time. And I came back up to Michigan. I went back up to Michigan to go visit some family and get some of my stuff. And I was at a Meijer, and one end cap was all Captain Crunch, Crunch Berries, all of that. The next end cap next to it was all Jaeger. And I was like, oh, buddy. Because like when I moved down to Michigan, I was 15. I was 15 when I moved from Michigan to Texas. So
oh yeah.
Liquor and none of that was on my mind, right? But like going back up there and visiting it, and like you've got one aisle is like cereal, and the next aisle you go over to is all liquor, and you don't have that. And like one thing that I did, I went to a Cubs game. Probably at this point in time, probably like 15 years ago. I had a buddy who had passed away. at a young age. And one thing that me and him always talked about was going up to Chicago to go see a Cubs game. And then right after he passed away, he died way too young. And I was like, I'm going to a Cubs game this next year. Like after he died, I was like, that's what I'm doing. At the same time, I had a buddy who moved up to Illinois and was living up there. And so I went up there and we went to a Cubs game, and I went to there with a few people from Texas. And like one guy, he was like, we went to the 7-Eleven across the street from Wrigley Field, and he walked into the 7-Eleven and they had a bunch of little small bottles of Jack and plastic bottles and things like that. And he's like, he didn't know how to act. He's like, he's at a gas station buying liquor. And so he bought a bunch of small plastic bottles of Jack and crammed them in his pockets and brought them into the Cubs game. Because you're going to get through the metal detectors with plastic bottles of Jack.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so he just ordered he bought drinks, bought Cokes, and put his freaking his Jack and Crown and whatever else
there you go.
at the 7-Eleven across the street. And he was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. But yeah, no, it's just things are different up north than they are down here in Texas. And even that, outside of that, like things are different like Florida than they are here in Texas. Like,
oh yeah.
Or Vegas.
Florida's a different animal, period, though. That whole place is like that.
Like when me and Rapid Dave go to Vegas, we go to Walgreens or CVS, buy the not these tall boys, but the big tall boys, the 32 ounces, right?
Yeah.
And we get them 2 for like $8 at CVS and Walgreens.
Yeah.
And so we'll buy 4. 2 for our hands, 1 for each of our hands, and 2 for the backpacks that I bring. And we walk up and down the strip drinking those because it's 2 for like $8.
Way cheaper.
We get
way cheaper.
4 for 16. And like when we go and gamble, we're not at tables long enough for us to order a drink and then to bring them to us. So
oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like with me, like I'm like a sniper at roulette tables. I'll walk up to a table, I'll see they've been hitting black or red or whatever it is, and I'll throw 2 to 3 bets down on black or red, and I'll hit, and then I'm out. I'm coming fast, hard, hit, double, triple up, and walk away.
I don't do a lot of the table stuff at all. I do slots, and I usually end up breaking money. Like
we've had like one of our favorite things to do is like to hit up the electronic roulette, and it's where it's like a minimum $1 bet, and you're doing 10-cent chips, right? And we'll sit there at that table for hours on end. But then we get a waitress who comes by, and the first time she comes by is like, hey, we need a beer and a shot each. And so she'll come back and she'll bring us a beer and a shot each. And at those tables, there was 4 of us, 8
Where
drinks.
are you finding these tables at though? Like down in like Fremont or like off strip, right?
Cosmo was the big one that we hit up.
Cosmo. Where's that?
Cosmo is right there on the main strip in Vegas. Like,
is it? I don't remember going there.
4 or 5 casinos in, but like, so we had one, and she would bring us 10 drinks, and we would tip her $10. And we told her, like, hey, we're going to tip you $1 a drink for every drink you bring us. Come back every 5 minutes. And she said, okay. And she came back every 5 minutes with a shot and a drink for each of us. And we tipped her $10 plus every time. And we spent a couple hours there. And I don't know. I think I remember finishing up. I don't know if I did or not, but I remember us being there for a couple hours, and we had a freaking blast. And we had a drink brought to us every 5 to 10 minutes. And we tipped her again. We tipped her accordingly, and we took care of her. And like we told her, like, hey, it was there was 5 of us there, 10 drinks, and we tipped her $10 to $15 every time she came by. And we told her to come by every 5 minutes. She came by between every 5 to 10 minutes. And like when we left, she's like, no, you can't leave. We're like, well, we gotta we're still early in our day. We got to keep going down the strip. She's like, no, 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 don't leave. Do you want me to bring by drinks more often? You want to tip me left? Whatever. No.
Oh,
And like the last round of drinks that she brought us, I think we tipped her like $60. Right. And like overall, I mean, we probably tipped her $200 to $300, like overall.
yeah. Between 10 people or what? That ain't bad. Yeah.
Five of us, right? It was five of us.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
And yeah, no, we tipped her big, and that's the thing. Like, if you find a spot where you can sit, where you're getting in cheap, yeah, sit down there. Like again, it was mostly like the electronics.
Yeah, if I'm gonna keep it cheap, I usually stay off strip. I'll go down to like Fremont or whatever and hit up that stuff down there. Because then you're just it feels like old Vegas down there, I guess. Like as far as like how they make it sound, you know what I mean, or whatever. So you got the plaza down there, all that stuff. It's cool.
So I just finished the margarita Pyro Water.
Oh, there you go.
It's not bad. I'm going to drink from Founders All Day West Coast.
I got that one in the fridge.
Session West Coast style IPA. Coming in at 4.7% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, there we go.
35 IBUs. Founders is one of my favorite breweries. It's a brewery up in Michigan.
Yeah, they take some chances on some stuff. The first time I ever had one of theirs was I had just kind of I was probably maybe 6 months into like doing craft beer stuff, and I was down in Kansas and they had it on tap, and it was like the Blushing Padre or whatever, and that one was like a tequila barrel soaked aged I don't know, porter, something like that. It came out, it looked like purple Kool-Aid and it was thick and it was sweet.
Like Rockosaurus Rex? Or Purple Source Rex Kool-Aid. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. More black cherry than purple. Black cherry is where.
When you say purple, I think Purple Source Rex. Which they
I got you.
Which they brought back before the pandemic, like a retro type thing. They had that.
It was darker than Barney. It was darker than Barney. But
Purple Source Rex and what was the other one? Crocodile Red. Purple Source Rex and Crocodile Red. They brought back.
Wasn't there an orange one too though?
There was an
orange. It was like
yeah.
Gosh. It was this Triceratops one maybe or something. Gosh. I don't remember. God, I forgot. You know what? We've lived through a bunch of like campy ass name stuff like that. Like that we just went out and bought because it was associated with cartoons and shit we used to watch, like the Ecto Cooler stuff, and we brought up like three different like drinks or whatever from like shit. TJ Burns is in the house. What's up,
TJ? What's up? I'm not seeing an orange. Like for the orange, all I see is the orange. But like the other thing that I see is like Charcoalberry Finn, which is a Kool-Aid flavor you can get right now. And I freaking love Charcoalberry Finn. Charcoalberry Finn, strawberry kiwi are goat flavors for me. On the Kool-Aid.
You still drink a lot of Kool-Aid though? Like in your adult life?
Yes, I do, because I buy it for the kiddos.
I get it. I buy
it for the younger kid, right? And like the flavors I buy are the flavors that I love. Like I'll buy
I get it.
Kiwi. And like we'll be sitting here one night and she's like, "Hey Dad, can I have a Kool-Aid for dinner?" I go, "Yes, but you got to bring me one." She's like, "Okay." And it's like, "Well, what do you want?" I go, "Well, what do we got?" It's either Charcoalberry Finn or strawberry kiwi. And I'll be like, I'm feeling Charcoalberry Finn right now. She's like, "Okay, I got you, Dad."
So I'll be honest. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a cup, glass, drink, spoonful, or anything of legit packet water sugar Kool-Aid
No. So
since
here's the thing.
maybe
I don't
2000 and
we don't do packet water sugar Kool-Aid because if I do that, it's one packet is like a half a cup of sugar or a cup of sugar, and two packets.
no, it
is-
used to be 4. I want
I-
to say a pitcher used to be 1
here's-
packet for
I
4 cups of sugar.
I don't know what it is, but here's the thing: if I'm doing it, I'm going hardcore sugar and packet, but
Okay.
I can't do that with my oldest daughter because
Okay.
my oldest daughter is a type 1 diabetic.
Yeah, no, so I understand that.
So I
But
can't
gosh.
do that. I can't do that with her because I can't tell her how many carbs she needs to take because I just pour half the packet of sugar in there.
That's what
Right.
we used to do. That's how you made it back in the day. You
It's
use like
super
sometimes you
sugar.
use measuring cups, but very rarely you just
No, I never use
shook
sugar.
it out until the bag was about that much lower.
I can't do it with my type 1 diabetic daughter because she needs to.
I get you. I get you.
So that part of it sucks. But here in the next, she's a junior. She's 17. She turns 18 in December. She graduates next year. Once she graduates and moves out, then I'll introduce my youngest daughter, who's not a type 1 diabetic.
legit Kool-Aid. This is what Kool-Aid's supposed to taste
Kool-Aid.
like for the last 10
like-
years of your life.
I want to buy so many pictures and so many flavors of Kool-Aid and so much sugar. It's going to be absurd, right? But I can't do that now because my oldest daughter is type 1 diabetic, and I can't tell her how many carbs to take for the sugar.
Do you want to
I
take if you
Because
take
I don't-
the
I
blue
don't-
packet,
I
you
don't know
stay
sugar I put in there. There's no way to no because I just take the pound bag of sugar and I just pour it. But when
okay.
she
If you
moves
take
out, when she
your
moves
sister's moved out, if you take the blue packet, you stay with Kool-Aid tasting the way that it's tasted your
when she
entire
moves-
life. But if you take the red packet, the red packet will lead you down.
when
And
she
Allison
moves-
will
she moves out, I'm not going to buy packets of Kool-Aid anymore. We're just not going to do it. We're going to buy the pouches of Kool-Aid, and I want to mix it up. I'm going to put it in half a gallon or a gallon jug, and I'm going to pour so much fucking sugar in that thing. And she can pour it in whatever water bottles or whatever she has.
Alan, you have Kool-Aid Gate happening in your house, right?
And there's going to be so much sugar in those Kool-Aids that she has. It's going to be ridiculous. She'll be like, Dad, I can't drink this much sugar. I'm like, you. This is how you drink Kool-Aid. This is how I drink Kool-Aid. This is how you're going to drink Kool-Aid. But she's like,
Everybody around you has drank Kool-Aid for the last
like,
20 years.
she's like 50-50. Like, it's either we go, it's like, hey, she's like, I need Kool-Aid, Dad. I go, okay, we'll pick out what you want. And she either picks Charcoberry Fin or Strawberry Kiwi, or she picks sugar-free fruit punch or cherry because she's had a lot of the sugar-free stuff.
Yeah, that I'm sure it tastes like shit.
Because we buy the sugar-free stuff for the oldest daughter, so she can have
Yeah, I
it.
get it.
There's 0 carbs, so she doesn't have to take any insulin for her and things like that.
There you
But-
go.
Once the oldest kid is out of the house, there's no sugar-free anything. And it's not just that. It's just like we're going to go full carbs, non-gluten-free on everything. Noki, Discord, ding, dong. Yeah, that's right. That sugar dog. Y'all already know. Yeah, dude. It's literally the day the oldest moves out, I want to buy a half a gallon pitcher and I'm going to buy 1 packet of Kool-Aid and 2 pounds of sugar, and I'm going to put a pound of sugar in that bitch. And I'm going to look at my youngest daughter, and at that point in time, she'll be, so she's 9. She might be 12 at that point in time. I'm going to look at her. I'm going to say, let's fucking go.
We're having a coming out party for
Going to
Kool-Aid.
You're drinking real Kool-Aid tonight.
She's about to go down.
And she's gonna drink one glass, and she's gonna be like the kids on Talladega Nights. I'm all wired up.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I'm gonna come out to you like a spider monkey, Chip. Like that's gonna be my kid.
We wouldn't shoot Chip's Grandpa Chip's medals off the bridge.
We threw a bunch of Chip's war medals off the bridge. That's what's
man,
happen. Like it's going to be off the hook. I cannot wait because it's again the oldest.
That's super funny.
The oldest has been a type 1 diabetic for almost 10 years now. Like, and so I haven't had like real Kool-Aid in like 10 years. Like, I haven't been able to go and buy packets of Kool-Aid and sugar and mix that shit up the right way in over 10 years. Because
all right, so tomorrow I'm gonna go buy some Kool-Aid and like put a ton of sugar in it, and I'll pour one out for you on camera. Okay,
I don't know. I might find a weekend where like the oldest is like working all weekend. I might
we're gonna get fucking dope ass Kool-Aid.
We're gonna live like kings today. The crazy thing is,
man,
here's a crazy thing. So like when I was I want to say I was a junior. I was a junior in high school, and I was playing in a roller hockey league. And one of the guys we played with, his parents, he didn't have sugar. He was not. If he had sugar, it was sugar-free Kool-Aid. He was not allowed to have Kool-Aid with sugar in it. He had no sugars, anything like that. And we're juniors. He comes over to my buddy's house. He's like, "Oh, what do you guys got drinking?" I was like, "Dude, we're making Kool-Aid right now." He's like, "Oh, okay." I go, "But we're making the packets and put sugar in it." He's like, "I've never had Kool-Aid with sugar in it." And I looked at him, I go, "Bro, welcome to the real world." And he goes, "What?"
You're gonna lose your virginity.
Dude, we poured so much fucking sugar in that. We poured more than we normally do. And we normally poured, like, it called for like a cup of sugar for a gallon of Kool-Aid. And for that, we would probably put like a cup and a half in there, right? And like you used to have sugar, you stir it up and you used to have a bunch of sugar on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And if you're getting one of the last glasses out of that gallon, you got a shit ton of sugar.
Yeah, it was like syrup. Yeah.
I looked at my buddy Michael Chavez. This is my best friend in high school, and I looked at him and I go, "Bro, he's never had real Kool-Aid." He's like, "Fuck, what do we do?" I go, "Put 2 cups in that bitch," because it called for a cup, and we normally want like a cup and a half, and so we went 2 cups. He goes, "All right, I'm in, bitch," and we did that, and he took a drink. He goes, "Holy crap!
You guys are such rebels."
Dude, he was like, "This is really fucking good." I go, "Yeah, it's fucking good." Dude, we sent him home so wired up on sugar. We talked. He didn't go to the same high school as us and stuff.
We're kids your age were out lifting cars and getting bitches pregnant. You were.
We're hopping this motherfucker up on sugar, and like we only talked to him on the weekends. So like we gave him all that. On Saturday, he's like, "Dude, I got so much trouble because all that Kool-Aid you gave us." He goes, "Do you got any more?"
All that Kool-Aid.
I go, "Yeah, bro, we can make as much as you want." He goes, "Let's fucking go." And he's like, "How much sugar did you put in it last time?" I was like, "Well, it calls for a cup. We put 2 cups in there." He looks at me, and goes, "Can we put 3 cups of sugar in there?" I go, "Do whatever the fuck you want, bro." Like, if you want 3 cups of sugar, let's go.
Oh man.
But that's just the way it went, man. Like
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
But like back then, like having too much sugar in your drink was like doing cocaine now, right? Like,
yeah, I suppose.
Kids these days are so much more like fucking hardcore and shit. But
is that what they?
I don't know, man. Like, so what? I'm gonna step away for a second. Tell us what you're drinking and how do you like it?
Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna step away here in a minute.
Gotta wait till I come back.
You have to wait. I'm still drinking on this damn double IPA, guys. It's Freak Parade double IPA from Drecker Brewing Company out of Fargo, North Dakota. It has Vic Secret, El Dorado, and Mosaic hops, and House IPA yeast, which I don't know that I've ever seen anybody label something for yeast on the beer before. But it's pretty good. It's pretty sweet though. Actually, I thought it was kind of middle of the road, but it's pretty sweet for double. But it's good. It's got a great color. This is much darker on camera than it really is. It's kind of like a light yellow straw color. Pretty good. But yeah. Let's see. What do we got? Let's pick apart Alan's wall here. So he's got a nice Return of the Jedi poster there. That's great. And then he has almost a whole wall of Star Wars stuff. He's got Boba Fett stuff up there. He's got Vader. He's got all this stuff, and then behind him he just has
Hold on, real quick.
Spider-Man right in the middle and Funko Pops
coming in with that rate of 13. It's so much El Poppy. El Poppy 209 coming in with that rate on Twitch. Thank you so much, El Poppy. Merc's in the house. Dude, I have a lot of Star Wars shit. Like, this is not even a joke.
No, I know, but what I was talking about is there's like this great like surrounding of Star Wars stuff, but when you step away, then there's just like a Spider-Man Funko Pop chunk amidst the wall of Star Wars.
Oh, right here. So,
yeah,
I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. So I have.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
Spider-Man, Dust, which is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2099. There's also a Darkwing Duck and Gizmo Duck pops behind me.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, no, Merc and El Poppy, thank you guys so much for joining us. El Poppy, thank you so much for that raid, brother. We appreciate it. So let me ask you this. Let's take things away from like serious sports, things like that.
Okay.
There's a Chinese couple.
Okay.
Who had reserved an Airbnb in I think it was like South Korea or something like that.
Okay.
And so they booked this Airbnb for 25 days. Pay for it all up front. After they did all that, they realized, hey, whoa, you're on the outskirts. We actually don't want to be out there. Can we get a refund? And the guy that owned the Airbnb was like, no, can't get a refund. You're stuck. And they said, okay, that's cool. Are there cameras on site? And the guy said, no, there's no cameras on site. They said, okay, cool. We'll stay there. Then they proceeded to, because this guy wouldn't give them a refund, turned every faucet on inside the Airbnb. And not just the faucets, but all the gas outlets. They turned them on, left them all on for 25 days, the amount of time they were there. They came back every 3 to 4 days just to check on everything, make sure nothing was falling apart or anything like that. No, everything's good. Okay. They ran up an extra $1,500 in utilities on top of what they normally cost. So it's not like they ran up $1,500 in utilities. No, normally utilities were like $400 for a month. They ran up an extra $1,500 on top of that. From leaving
everything going all the time. Okay.
Right. And that guy that like had his like, oh man, he was like hitting up Airbnb. He's like, hey, you got to do something about this. They can't do this. And Airbnb was like, no, bro. Like all this stuff, you got to work out with the person who rented the property from you. Like, did you have limits set? Did you have this? Like, no. Like, well, you got to hit up the people that rent the place from you and figure it out. And he would try to hit up the people that rented it from them, and they didn't respond. So this dude ended up paying all these extra fees just
See if they can do
because,
a refund.
these people, they rent this place. And here's the thing with Airbnb, right? Like, until you rent it, you don't actually know where it is. Like, you have a general idea of the area.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
right. And so they rent it, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll rent it. We'll 25 days. We'll pay. They pay for it all up front. And then they do that, and then they see where it actually is, and they're like, hey, man, like, I'm sorry. We don't want to be in this area where you're at. We want to be in another area. We thought this is where it was going to be. Can you just give us a refund? And the guy loses, no. No refund. You're out of luck. And they said, okay. Do you have cameras? No. Okay. We'll still stay there. To me, if I'm the guy renting the place out and they ask me, is there cameras there?
Yeah, that's a weird question to ask.
Right. So at that point in time, I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'll let you out, but I'm going to charge you X number of dollars for cancellation fee, right? Or even like at the time, like they book it like a day later, they hit me up and say, hey, we didn't want to stay in this area. Can we get a refund? Hey, I'll give you a refund, but I'm going to charge you 50 bucks for a cancellation fee. So you make a little bit of money off of it and you still put it back on the market. They would have been happy with that. And you're going to be happy with that because you're going to make money off of it. Like, but no, the dude told them no. And they said, okay, we're going to turn everything on. That's on you, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think that the people that went to rent it were probably within their rights, I guess, unless there was something written in the contract that they couldn't back out because of something like that.
I mean, there's
It'd have to
definitely
be like,
things,
you know what
there's
I mean?
definitely things in there built in, like, yeah, you can't cancel it and all that. But if they hit you up like the day or two after, like, hey, you're still 20 days out. Hey, can we cancel? We didn't think it was in this area. We thought it was in this area.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because especially if you've already done the sale, that's like a sale is like a contract too, you know. So I don't
It
know.
is.
There's a weird thing in there too, right? I don't know.
But when they start asking questions like, hey, is everything on camera?
Yeah, oh yeah, no. If
And
I
you're
was
like,
if I was the property owner,
right.
I'd be way suspicious. But
Right.
yeah,
So at that point in time, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I'll let you out, but I'm going to charge you X number of dollars for a cancellation fee, right? You paid 25 days up front. Who knows what that cost them, right? $4,000, $3,000, whatever it is. Okay. I'm going to charge you $100 cancellation fee because you're doing this a few days after. And the people canceling it would have been okay. What's up? Why Loomis in the house? What's going on? They would have been okay with it, and you get some money, right?
my battery is about done. I have 2%.
Okay,
So
yeah, are we done? Or
we're done.
Okay,
We're done.
all right. Well, Horny, thanks. Whoa, you want to review your last beer you drank?
No, I did when you went and pissed last.
Okay,
I reviewed it.
okay.
But to go back to it, it was Freak Parade Double IPA from Drecker Brewing Company out of Fargo, North Dakota. Vic's Secret El Dorado Mosaic hops. It's very yellow. I'm still drinking it, but it's very yellow. It's super thick. It was a little sweet, but it's still a really great double IPA. So.
Hell yeah, Horny! Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, no problem.
I'm gonna say live for a little bit after you leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about a few things. I got more drinks and more opinions and things.
There you go.
But Horny,
All right,
thank you so
sir.
much for joining us. We appreciate it. I love you.
Love you, buddy. Talk to
Cheers,
you later.
Horns. Good things. Have a good great one.
Yep, bye.
Bye. So, what's up? It's the Allen Show now. And you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about baseball because I have absolutely falling in love with baseball. Me and Rapid David talked. We're going to become baseball guys this year. We're pledging to watch so much baseball. We join fantasy baseball leagues, things like that. Earlier tonight, I was out at Slim Chickens, which is like a little, not necessarily a restaurant, like a fast food place. And I was there to get some chicken strips and some fries for dinner. And a TV in front of me had the Angels and Yankees game on, which made me jump up and proclaim, "Oh my gosh!" while I'm watching the game. And so you've got the Yankees and you got the Angels going on right now, and it's billed as like it's billed right now with like ESPN is billing it as Ohtani versus Aaron Judge week. Is how they're billing it. And then today we're watching the game. Today I'm watching the game. And the game's taking place in New York. So the Angels are the road team. The Angels are up the bat first. And first guy comes up the bat, he's out. Second guy comes up the bat, it's Ohtani. And Ohtani's got a good at bat going on, all that. He gets a pitch, he catches it. You're like, this is out. This is out. Dead center. Aaron Judge runs up, jumps over the fence, gets the ball in his glove, pulls it down, catches it in his bare hand, and out. Robs a home run away from Ohtani. And then they instantly started playing from last year when the same thing happened. Aaron Judge jumped up, robbed a home run from Ohtani. The next inning, Aaron Judge came off the bat and hit a home run. And so you finish the first inning at you finish the first half 0-0. Yankees come up the bottom of the first. The first guy gets a base hit. Next guy up the bat is Aaron Judge. And what does Aaron Judge do? He hits a dinger. 2-run shot. No question about it. No way the fielder's pulling it back. At the end of the game's 3-2. Yankees went 3-2. So because Aaron Judge robbed Shohei Ohtani of that home run, it's now a Yankees win. Because if he doesn't get that, it's now 3-3. That's a solo home run. 3-3 game. It turns out different. Dude, when Judge jumped up and robbed that home run, I'm there at Slim Chicken. And I'm sitting down. I mean, my chicken strips, my french fries. Got my gravy I'm dipping my chicken into. Got a little cherry Coke on the side. And I jumped up and I go, "Oh my God!" Everyone turned around and looked at me like, what the is going on? I've developed into hardcore baseball guy. I love baseball. I'm watching so much baseball this season. I'm doing fantasy baseball. I absolutely love it. And when something like that happens, I can't. I got excited. I got overexcited. I'm jumping up inside a restaurant, screaming, "Oh my God." I'm so jacked up on it, dude. I'm loving baseball this season. I absolutely love it. The pitch clock is making things more excited. I'm doing talking baseball with Alan. I'm doing a 10 to 15 minute podcast on me talking about baseball. We're 2 episodes in. I'm probably going to record episode number 3 tomorrow. I'm watching, like, when I'm sitting here, I work from home most days. And so I got the TV here, and when I pull it up and there's no afternoon baseball, I'm pissed. Like, I'm texting Rapid David, like, there's no afternoon baseball today. This is bullshit. Especially when it's on a Friday. Like, we've had a couple Fridays now where there's no afternoon games. All the games are in the evening. That's crap. That's horseshit. I need afternoon baseball every day. Give me one game in the afternoon every day. But outside of that, I'm just excited to have baseball in the afternoon, whenever. I love baseball. I enjoy it. I've been caught up in it. The more baseball I watch, the more excited I am, and the more I love it. Oh man, this beer is really good. But I don't know. The one last thing I had to talk about was Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had surgery on his ankle today for arthritis stemming from all of his injuries. No timetable on his return. I think golf is always better if Tiger's involved. The thing I think that sucked was like with this last Masters, they have a bunch of weather and days rolling into days, and he had in day number 2, he couldn't finish day number 2 because they ran out of time. So it rolls into day number 3. He finishes his day number 2 on day number 3, makes the cut, and then has to turn around and play another 18 holes. And after that, he was just like, he's just battling injuries. Like if it went one day, if it went 4 days, I think it would have worked out better for Tiger, but it didn't. And it rolled into, he had to finish day number 3 or day number 2 and roll that into the day number 3. And so because he had to play more than 18 holes in the day, it is what it is. And it sucks. Because again, the more Tiger you get, the better off we are. Like, who doesn't want to see Tiger on a Sunday wearing red? Whether he's in it or not, give me a Tiger on a Sunday of any golf tournament. But it just sucks. And then he has surgery now. He's going to be out for a while. He's never going to catch Jack. It's just not going to happen. But I just want Tiger. That's it. At the end of the day, I mean, we grew up with Tiger dominating golf. If Tiger's in it on day 4, the final day of the tournament, you're in. He might be 10 holes out, but it's Tiger and it's 10 holes. You know what? Tiger can make up 10 strokes on a Sunday. Like a champ, because he's fucking Tiger. He's gone out there tied with people and finished 20 holes up at the end of the day. He was tied with. Because he's fucking Tiger. But I don't know, man. This is my last beer. Let me finish this beer. I am drinking from Founders All Day West Coast Session, West Coast style IPA. This bad boy is coming in at, it's a low ABV. What was it? 4.7% alcohol by volume. Really good, really delicious. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, I'm Alan. And there's no one else with me. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.